Today is not a regular One Piece conversation. Now we're going full blast, right over the edge of the world into the devil fruits. And not just the devil fruits, we're talking about the most powerful, the most frightening, the most broken fruits that can be found in the masterpiece of Oda. I'm speaking of those fruits that literally make civilizations, of those fruits that bend reality, of the fruits so strong that even the Gorosei and Imu themselves must have felt compelled to nerf people just to ensure the world didn't fall apart. Yeah, that level of insane. Fasten your seatbelt as we're going into 17 of the purest, strongest devil fruits in One Piece, from the weakest to the strongest. Starting with number 17, we have Kuma's Paw fruit, the Niku no Mi. On the one hand, it's cute, you see, paw pads on his hands. Cute, but no. This thing is horrifying. Kuma is able to fight against everything, literally. Pain, gone. Fatigue, slapped out of your body. An entire crew of Straw Hats, teleported around the world like confetti at a parade. Do you know how broken that is? This man doesn't even have to fight. One touch and off, hurled halfway around the world. Had that fruit been any different in the real world, I would never shake the hand of a person anymore. Too risky. Now for number 16, the Goro no Mi, Enel's lightning fruit. You see, the first time I was watching Skypiea, I said, oh cool, electricity, that's nice. Then Enel begins to move as real lightning and burns people with a single strike. Hears conversations around the island with electric signals, and calls on giant thunderbolts as though it's nothing. That fruit is busted. It wasn't on the highest level only because Oda made Luffy rubber and made it the most ridiculous counter ever. The only individual in the world who could rival Enel. Get someone else on that Sky Island, game over. At number 15, let us talk about darkness. The Yami no Mi of Blackbeard is by far one of the most unjust devil fruits ever created. A Logia that doesn't cause you to turn into an intangible being, but on the other hand, allows you to form a freaking black hole. He's able to suck in everything around him. Matter, explosives, buildings, people, gone. Just erased. Then on top of all this, it nullifies other devil fruit powers. That's criminal. That's hacking the system. You're not only battling with Blackbeard, you lose your powers, you're pulled into a void, and then he beats you down in the old-fashioned manner. This fruit is so frightening that it seems Oda wrote it to shatter each and every rule that we believed exists about devil fruits. Now at number 14, let's put some fire, literally, in the mix. Akainu's Magma no Mi, Magma. Do I even need to explain? Fire isn't a nice thing at all, but Magma is the elder brother of fire and consumes fire as his breakfast cereal. And we were there at Marineford and saw what Akainu did. Each of the punches was an eruption. It was melting, crumbling, buildings, ships, Ace. Man, Ace paid the heavy with his last. The fact that it's one fruit that changed the whole plot in One Piece. The world government ought to be rejoicing in the fact that Akainu is not a pirate. Or they should be, because were he a pirate, the seas would already change to ashes. At number 13, we have the Quake fruit of Whitebeard, the Gura no Mi. Let's not sugarcoat it, it was sufficient to annihilate the world, as Oda himself claimed. It was able to bend the waters and bend into the air to shake apart an entire continent. Whitebeard could crack that air as the water. The very first move of his arm at Marineford and the whole battlefield was shattering like falling Lego blocks tread upon by an elephant. They say Kaido was the mightiest beast, but when it comes to pure destructive power, the fruit of Whitebeard is in a whole different league. Had he been younger and in better health, Marineford wouldn't even be there anymore. Now moving to number 12, since it's not all about great explosions with devil fruits, there are those that are truly frightening because the thing they target is the one thing that cannot be trained, and that's the soul. Big Mom Soru no Mi. Oh my god, this fruit creeps me out. She can even steal your lifetime, literally. Only scream at you, demand to know whether you are afraid, and in case you flinch, bam, you've lost a part of your life. She makes use of it to make living armies, living objects, and mind-endowed weapons around her. Just imagine the struggle against a person who doesn't even have to touch you. They only stare at you, frighten you, and before you know it, you're even nearer to your grave. That is high-grade horror film stuff. At number 11, by the way of the horrors, I want to tell you about the Habi no Mi of Sugar. Oh, the fruit which makes men toys with one stroke. Cute name, nightmare ability. She doesn't only change you, she also makes everyone forget you. One moment you're here, the next you're forgotten by your best friend, even without any name. It's worse than Magma, worse than Quake's, since you don't even have the opportunity to fight. Kaido gets touched by Sugar. Boom, toy dragon. Should she touch an admiral? Boom, toy admiral. It's just that she is, after all, a little kid, and doesn't have the mind of one to rule the world. But when it's in the wrong hands, this fruit is in-game. Now for number 10, we'll swing back to the Admirals since those guys possess some of the glitziest fruits in the series. The Pika Pika no Mi of Kizaru is simply unjust. He's literally light. He's able to travel like light speed, kick like light speed, and fire lasers like light speed. You cannot dodge this man. Had Kizaru been a serious person rather than trolling half the time, he would have been capable of destroying whole armies and nobody would have even noticed. I always get chills each time he comes in since he's the very meaning of untouchable. At number 9, there's the Zushi no Mi of Fujitora, the Fruit of Gravity. I like this one because it's not as flashy as light, but so much more scary when you consider it. Gravity affects everything. You can't resist it. Fujitora is able to flatten crowds and squash them down to the ground, destroy buildings, and hurl them down as easy as he opens his takeout menu. Meteors from space. Suppose he went all out without holding back. Marineford wouldn't have been a war, it would have been a hole. Now at number 8, we shall speak of the mythical Zoans, since these things are nutsy. Uo no Mi Model Seiryu made Kaido a dragon god. He was able to fly, breathe fire, make clouds rise to literally pick up the islands, and his body was almost impervious. It required a whole alliance, and Luffy discovering Gear 5 in order to take him down. And now number 7, the Fruit of Luffy, the biggest twist in the whole story. The Gomu Gomu no Mi being the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika. That reveal blew my mind. Luffy's fruit is not only rubber powers, but also cartoon logic. Gear 5 is freedom that is reality bending. He's able to do whatever his mind can think of. He actually became a Looney Tunes character in an actual fight and mocked Kaido. Not power, that's story making. At number 6, as we're already in mythical Zoans, we must not omit the Phoenix Fruit of Marco. This man is practically invincible. He's able to repair from nearly everything, fly, and stand by his crew indefinitely. At Marineford, he was being struck by admirals, and he only found himself coming back, blue fire mending him up the same instant. Marco has an easy time toppling the fruit in terms of utility and survivability. Now for number 5, the Mochi Mochi no Mi of Karakuri. It was a joke on Mochi, but it was horrible in his hands. Future sight observation hockey combined with the flexibility of Mochi made him a near-perfect fighter. He was able to remodel his body, confine enemies, and fight in a way that he possessed the advantage of both Paramecia and Logia. Katakuri didn't make it look the most glamorous on paper, yet it seemed to me like it was one of the most powerful in practice. At number 5, let's get spicy. The Ope Ope no Mi, the Fruit of Eternal Hype. The room power of Law is among the most fascinating powers in the show. He has the capacity to teleport, change personalities, slice people in pieces without causing them pain, and finally, it has the hidden ultimate method, the Immortal Surgery. It can bestow immortality on a patient at the cost of the user's life. That's insane. This is literally what is referred to by the world government as the ultimate devil fruit, and I believe them. For number 3, someone such as Imu or the Gorosei must have utilized it already in the past, so maybe that's the reason why they've been ruling for centuries. Just saying. By the way, at number 2, the Gorosei are a nightmare. They are. We really have no idea of the extent of their powers yet, though what we've glimpsed, mythical Zoans all around. Monstrous bodies, powers that are screaming in-game boss. These are not politicians, but hunters. And should every one of them bear a fruit comparable to Kaido or Sengoku, or something even worse, then the last battle is going to be nothing less than a riot. And finally at number 1, Imu, the most enigmatic character of the whole series, seated on the throne which rules the world. We don't know their fruit yet, and come on, it's gonna be broken. Theories indicate it might be related to immortality, time, or something connected to the Void Century itself. Whatever it is, it'll make all other devil fruits look like child's play. The reveal of Imu will be one of those moments when the whole fanbase will go completely berserk. That's it. If you like this video, you can now click on this other cool video that's appearing on your screen. Click on it to see. Go ahead, click it.